Neo-Italy's Neros Gundam appears in Episode 1 of the G Gundam series. The Neros' pilot, Michelo Chariot, a mafia boss of Neo-Italy, was selected as the representative for Neo-Italy in the 13th Gundam fight solely due to his fighting abilities. The Neros Gundam is armed with 16 Satyricon beams that are mounted all over the body. However, I've never been able to find out where on the body these things are mounted. It says in a lot of places, including MAHQ, the Gundam Wiki, that it's all over the body, but I think it's just in the legs, these round bits here being the emitters. Now, you could guess that there are these nubs here. There are 3, 6, 9, 12, 14, 15, there are 16 of these little nubs, so it's really hard to tell. This unit also has 2 Vulcan cannons, fire-mounted linked in the head. Now, this version of the figure is the Dark Neros figure that comes in the box set with the Raven Gundam. The original figure, or the original mold, is a much lighter color than what we see here. This is more of a very dark blue and black, where the original was much more of a tan, grayish color. Also, the original figure came with a shield, multiple hands, and a battle axe. This figure comes with none of that. The one thing that it does share is the Core Fighter, which a lot of the G Gundam series had. So the Core Fighter actually transforms into kind of a portable car thing. It looks more like something out of F-Zero than out of Gundam, but this was used in G Gundam by just about all of the Gundams, and it's how they would interact with their Gundams. Posability for this little guy is pretty good. Now, he is only 4 inches tall, actually 3.5 to 4 inches tall, but the posability is very good. Like a lot of the MSIA figures, the plastic, however, is not very good. It's not held up all that well, and bits and pieces are just starting to fall off on me. The one thing I do like is there is enough posability that you can pose it. However, all of the skirt armor and the shoulder armor is pretty hard plastic, so it completely negates the posability because you can't really get past it. Otherwise, the Dark Neros Gundam is a good-looking figure. Now, at the end of the fight with Domon Kashu in the first episode, the Neros' head was destroyed, thus ending the fight and eliminating this mobile suit and Neo-Italy from the Gundam Fight Tournament. But once the final started, Michelo Chariot was there as a competitor, even though the head of his Gundam had been destroyed, and he was eliminated from the very beginning. But after selling his soul to the Dark Gundam in order to defeat Domon, Michelo Chariot is granted the powers of the mighty DG cells, and the Neros Gundam evolved into the Soaring Raven Gundam. The Soaring Raven Gundam shows up towards the end of the G Gundam series with the other of the 4 Heavenly Kings, and they attempt to prevent Domon Kashu from reaching the Gundam Fight Finals. But episode 42 is where this unit is truly shown in its element. Like the other 4 Heavenly Kings, this unit transforms from a mobile suit mode to an attack mode. Its armaments include 2 Raven Claws mounted in the feet in both modes, and a near-infinite supply of Raven Darts, which we'll talk about here in a little bit once we get it into its converted mode. The figure itself in mobile suit mode is virtually impossible to pose, and it is very difficult to get it to stand up straight, simply because these bits are hard plastic and they just get in the way. Now, they are on ball joints, so you can pose them and kind of point them directly down, which gives it some more stability. But if you want to be true to the figure, you should, or I should say true to the character or the mobile suit, you want to have them pointing straight up. Now, obviously, there are some problems here because those go up a ways. My unit, or my figure, when I got him, had a kink in the tip here, and I've had to straighten it out over time, and I actually had to shave off some of the plastic. Also, this figure's plastic is the same as the Neros's, but it's a little bit tougher, just a little bit. Everything else, though, is super soft. And I'm having the same problem with this figure that I did with the Neros, where bits are just falling off. Now, the ball joints here are designed to pop off, which in a few reviews down the road, you'll see why. But everything else is supremely, supremely loose. These shoulder pads pop off way easy. The arms actually pop off very easily. These bits on the side of the face fall off. These leg pads just drop off. The claws fall off. It's just not a well put together figure. And I don't know if that's just a problem with Bandai of America or the MSIA line in general. Yeah, say that 5 times fast. Anyway, so we're going to go ahead and get into the transformation for this guy. We're going to start off by turning the arms, the forearms, such that these little vent parts are pointing straight up, and then we'll collapse the arms into the shoulders and make sure that the hands slide up into these slots. So we'll do that. That will allow us to bring the wing unit around, slide it over the hand, and peg it into the shoulder armor. Next, we're going to do the legs. Now the legs, we can actually... I actually had something mistransformed in robot mode, or mobile suit mode, because those bits should have been like that. So we'll have those off to the side. And what we will do is bend the legs like this, and then take the feet and fold them down like that, and collapse the foot and the heel into one another. And then we can fold out the claws and reattach the claw that keeps falling off. Oh, and the tail feather. The last thing we will do to this mode is add its wings. Now these wings are just giant pieces of colored plastic that attach to and slide up into the slots here underneath the wings. In bird mode, the Raven Gundam is a formidable opponent. In the show, he pretty much cleans Domon Kashu's clock until Domon is rescued by the Dragon Gundam and the Bolt Gundam. And as you can see, posing the Raven Gundam is a challenge in and of itself. I am using a stand here, just a standard Tamiya SH Figure Arts figure stand, or Bandai figure stand, I can't remember which. But just posing this thing in bird mode is a challenge. As you can see, the posability doesn't exist. I mean, yeah, you could pose the feet a little bit, and as you saw earlier, I had it just sitting on the desk, but it really doesn't, just sitting on the desk does not do this mode justice whatsoever. And I do like the fact that he does transform into a giant bird of death. That is very cool. And in the show, the execution of in the show is great. I really like it in the show. In reality, though, it's stupid. Unfortunately, I can't recommend this set simply because, one, the Gundam itself in mobile suit mode is a joke. You can barely get it to stand. It doesn't even look all that good. The transformation is kind of boring, and the overall effect of the bird mode is lackluster. Yes, it has a massive wingspan, but unless you can hang it from the ceiling or maybe mount it on a wall on some wall pegs to look like it's flying, this thing doesn't really do much. I mean, you really can't get any good poses, there is no posability except for the claws and the feet. Now, in the show, he was defeated at the end of episode 42 by the Dragon and the Bolt Gundam, but it's not the last we'll see of the Raven Gundam, or at least parts of the Raven Gundam. So, I can't recommend this thing, but if you're a big G Gundam fan like I am, and you can find it for like $1 or $2, it might be worth having.